On the productivity side, as it was shared a lot online, you gain some and you lose some. So you gain, of course, the commuting time, you lose interactions, and pace is totally changed. As a manager, this calls for shorter meetings, more regular meetings to create the pace that is not there because you're not sharing the same physical space. One thing that is also important is to re-emphasize the importance of trust. We've all heard about micromanagers who are suffering a lot because they could not control the work of people in their teams, and we even heard more about team members from micromanagers who felt terribly bad during that time, who felt harassed during that time. So trust is, of course, extremely important, even more when you're working virtually than where you're working in the same space. And managers really need to encourage even more sharing about what is being experienced by the team members, about their work, about the customers, about the tools, about their work in general, and so that it benefits the managers and the rest of the team. And managers need to be even more clear than usual about the directions the team needs to go to, about the objectives, about the company. What I really realized is that when you have a physical on-site meeting, you have a kind of commuting time, even if the commuting time is just to go to the other side of the room, to grab your piece of paper, to grab your laptop. You have this little space in between, and when you are on a video meeting, you don't have that space. And if you don't have that space creates a kind of commitment towards the goal of the meeting, of the training, or whatever, and it also creates a buffer that doesn't exist when you're on the video. So this really speaks in favor of creating even artificially or forcing a kind of a buffer. It can be a chit-chat, it can be an icebreaker, it can be a little game, so that people have time to settle down into the meeting, into the topic of the meeting, and to forget what was there just before. People really could use more or less time depending on their own need to speak, and we really realized that if we do the usual classification between introvert and extrovert, having space to chat about themselves was making extrovert people happy because they had really the space they needed, and introverts were also finding even a smaller space, but a space that made them comfortable. One thing that was very clear is that introvert people were very happy at the beginning of the lockdown because they didn't have to speak with others more than necessary. And this is something that was, I was really careful. It's important as a manager to check on everybody in the team to make sure that they are okay from time to time if you haven't heard from them. And another learning that was quite unexpected from that moment is that there's also a strong benefit in having virtual interactions. Unexpectedly, for instance, it's easier to network in a virtual environment for introvert people as a rule. Easily than in real life when you have to go towards people.